7. Rain. 5.5. Come in. Yasin.
Hey, yo, Captain Jack. Hey, yo, Captain Jack. Bring me back to the railroad track. Bring me back to the railroad track.
4.5, 4.5, 5.5, 4.5, 5. Matthew. Six and a half, 6.5, 7.5. Federico. Six and a half, 6, 7.5, 6, 7. Yasin. Seven and a half, 7.5. Roughly. Six and a half, 6.5, 5.5. Dan. Four and a half, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Round 2, secondly. Five, 4.5, 5, 4.5. Rain. 4.5. Down. 4, 4, 5. Tamim.
This is something new, the Casper Slide Part 2, featuring the Platinum Band, and this time we're gonna get
4, 4, 3.5, 3, 3.5. Yassine. Judge 3. 5, 6, 4, 5, 3.5. Matthew. Six and a half, 7, 7, 7. Federico. Five and a half, 6, 7, 5.5, 5.5. Yassine. Seven, 6.5, 7, 6, 7. Lachen.
You broke my heart, 'cause I couldn't dance. You didn't even want me around. And now I'm back
Judge 4.
to let you. I can really
5, 4, 4.5, 5, 4. Down. Five and a half, 5, 5.5, 5, 5. Round 3, Setomir. Six and a half, 6.5, 6, 6, 6. Rain. half, 5 and a half, 6 and a half. Down. Four and a half, 4 and a half, 4, 4 and a half, 4 and a half. Tamim. Seven, 6, 6, 6, 7. Yassine. Six, 6, 6, 6, 6 and a half. Matthew. Seven, 6 and a half, 6, 6 and a half, 6 and a half. Federico. Seven, 7, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 7. Yassine. Seven, 7, 7, 6, 7 and a half. Lachen. Seven, 6 and a half, 5 and a half, 6 and a half, 6. Dan. Five, 4 and a half, 4, 5, 4 and a half. Round 4, Setomir. Two and a half, 3, 3, 2, 2 and a half. Rain. 6.5, 6. Down. 4.5, 4.5, 4, 5, 4.5. Tamim. Six and a half, 6, 7, 6.5, 6. Yassine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas for another exciting edition of Boxing Sensation.
5.5, 6, 6.5, 5.5, 5.5.
Ready?
Matthew. Five and a half, 6, 6, 6.5, 6. Federico. Four, 3.5, 4, 2.5, 3.5. Yassine. Six and a half, 6.5, 7, 7, 7. Lachen. Five and a half, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5. Down. From all judges, 5. Round 5, Svetomir. Five, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Rain. Six and a half, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Down. and a half, 5, 4, 5. Tamin. 4, 4 and a half, 3, 4, 4. Yassine. 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4, 4. Matthew. 6 and a half, 6, 6, 6 and a half, 6 and a half. Federico. 6 and a half, 6, 6. Yassine. 5, 5, 4, 4 and a half, 5. Lachlan. 6, 6, 6 and a half, 6, 6 and a half. Dan. 5, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 5, 4 and a half. Round 6, Svetomir. 1, 1 and a half, 1, 1 and a half, 1 and a half. Rain. 4 and a half, 5, 5 and a half, 6, 5. Dan. 4.5, 4.5, 4, 4.5, 5.5. Tamim. Three and a half, 3, 3.5, 2.5. Yassine. Six, 7, 5, 6.5. Matthew. Five, 5.5, 6, 5.5. Federico. Five and a half, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5. Yassine. Five and a half, 6, 5.5, 6, 6. Lachen. Five and a half, 6, 6, 6, 5.5. Dan. Four, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4. Round 7, Setomir. Five, 6, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Rain. Seven, 7.5, 7, 8. Dan. 4.5, 4.5, 4, 5, 4.5. Tamim. Five and a half, 6, 5.5, 5. Yassine. Six, 4.5, 5, 5, 5.5. Matthew. Six, 5, 4.5, 5, 6.5. Federico. Six, 6.5, 7.5, 6, 6. Yassine. Six, 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6.5. Lachen. Six, 5, 5.5, 5, 5. Dan. Four, 3.5, 3.5, 4, 3.5. Round 8, Svetomir. Four and a half, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4. Ray. Five and a half, 6, 5, 6, 6. Dan. 4.5, 5, 4, 4.5, 5. Tamim. Two, 1.5, 2, 2, 1.5. Yassine. Five, 4.5, 5, 5, 5. Matthew. Four and a half, 3.5, 4.5, 4.5. Federico. Five and a half, 6, 6.5, 5. Yassine. Two and a half, 2, 3, 2. Lapland. Four and a half, 3.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4. Dang. One and a half, 1, 2, 2. This was the last dive of this competition. Thank you, judges. Thank you, secretary.